In a strange coincidence, one of our own employees, a friend of ours, reporter here at CBS 11, knew Nadir Soufi.
JD Miles is here to tell us about his connection to the Garland shooter. JD, tell us about your story.
Gilman Kennett, this is still so hard for me to wrap my head around. This family actually lived next to me in our West Plano neighborhood for about 3 or 4 years back in the early 80s, and they were a very nice, unexceptional family, but I do have very clear memories of a young boy, Nadir Soufi, who lived next to me. He was about 14 years younger than me. He would have been a small, toddler around 3 or 4 when I was a teenager. And but I spent time with him. His mother would come over and spend time with my mother. They would have coffee, and he would play. I would take him outside, bounce a basketball with him. We'd look for little mice in the field behind our homes. There were a lot of memories like that I still have, and to think that he could be behind this terror plot is absolutely mind-boggling.
So take us back to Sunday. So obviously the news starts to break, social media, the newscasts, and you put 2 and 2 together and you say,
yeah,
wow, that's the little boy.
Yeah, we'd gotten the names on Monday that the suspects, one of them was Soufi, and I thought, wow, that's weird. That's the name of the family that lived next to me in Plano. And so I ended up not thinking much of it. Then later in the day, I had to take in an interview with the mother outside of Houston, and when I saw her face, I locked on and froze. Oh my God, this is Sharon Soufi, plus 30 years, yeah, and her son is Nadir Soufi, who's 34, and we knew him as Nicky then. His mom would call him Nicky. His dad always called him by his formal name, Nadir. He was a devout Muslim. She was a Caucasian. It was clear that they had some differences. They were a young couple, but I was devastated to hear that this child turned out to be the man that we've been hearing about the last few days.
And JD, you say that you remember conversations that his mother had with your own mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she would talk about the challenges of being a young Muslim wife, her concerns about going overseas and having to possibly live over there. But, her little boy was always smiling, adorable, just had absolutely a carefree life. They seemed to be a very stable family. They moved after about 1985, and I never saw them again. And I definitely wanted my lasting image to be the little boy that I remember, and not this man that we're hearing about in the last few days.
Yeah. All right, JD. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Small world.
It is. Yeah. It's
a
sign of the world we live in. I mean, these people aren't a world apart, and they're not some radicals that we don't have any connection to. They can be our next door neighbor.
All right, JD. Thanks so much for coming in. Appreciate it.